Danny Rose was sent off for his reaction to racist monkey chants from the Serbian crowd as England's European Under-21 qualification match descended into chaos. The reaction to events has prompted an immediate response from the Football Against Racism in Europe network, FAIR.
I think our key focus in these sort of incidents when they happen is to try to see whether we can get as much information as we can and pass that on to the governing bodies, whose job it is then to take action, whose role it is to open disciplinary proceedings, consider the facts, and then take action, in this case against Serbia. The football courts, if you like, are now looking at it. The wider issue, of course, is how we deal with the continuing levels of xenophobia, extreme nationalism and racism in a place like Serbia. We will have been quoted and would have been very clear about the way in which we saw this. It was uncompromisingly an act of racism. We also do our best to exert pressure on and lobby UEFA, who are the European governing body. If this is a FIFA game, we try and do the same there as well. Because action in a football context lies with them, not with anybody else. It doesn't lie with us, it doesn't lie with the English FA or indeed the Serbian FA. They're not self-regulating. This is about the governing body of European football, UEFA, and what they can do to take this forward and to set an example.
The response from senior black players within the game has seen some people question whether a black players' union is needed to represent more effectively black footballers.
So I think the fact that Black Players Union has been tabled, the fact that this issue is now in the open, suggests that there is massive disillusionment amongst a fairly senior group of black players. And I think that's something that needs to be acknowledged by organisations like the PFA, the FA and groups like Kick It Out. These people obviously feel like their voices are not being heard, they're not being adequately represented, and I think this is something that needs to be looked at within the game. A lot of people would say a Black Players Union would represent a step back, but for some black footballers, they clearly feel like that is what is necessary in order for their voices to be heard, in order for their agenda to be put on the table.
It's a very difficult subject. I definitely don't think that it is the right thing to do, to have a black union. But on the other hand, I do understand people who have been racially abused.
You know, John Barnes famously said when he had banana skins thrown at him, his response was to play as well as he could to silence those racists. That's one response, absolutely, but you know, Mario Balotelli has recently spoken out saying my response to someone racially abusing me or throwing a banana skin would be to murder that person, you know, so clearly the world has changed, and I think, you know, people should have the right to go about their job.
While supportive of the reactions of the PFA and FA to events in Serbia, many people have questioned the punishments handed out to those found guilty of discriminating against and racially abusing individuals.
Financial punishments don't do what they're intended to do. An example of that is, you know, John Terry. He's been fined over £200,000 by the FA, so more like $450,000. He's probably been fined something similar by his club. So this guy is facing a fine of around $850,000. Is that enough for people? I don't think it is, because people say for a very wealthy footballer, he'll just move on. It doesn't really hurt him. It's the embarrassment and the idea of not playing football that really hurts. And so we think that should be translated into the sanctions that should be applied, whether it's to Serbia, this time around Croatia at the European Championships, the Russians at the European Championships, Spain a few years ago. You know, these sort of incidents are ongoing.
You're not going to stop it with a fine of 50 grand or 30 grand. That is not gonna stop them or stop fans doing that. What do fans want? Fans want to see matches. So, if they do it, you have to maybe kick them out for 4 years. You know, hit them hard. You know, don't hit them half, hit them hard. If they do it, hit them hard. That's the only way you're going to stop it.
With the Serbian FA denying any racist behaviour took place during their Under-21 match with England, And with Ashley Cole facing Rio Ferdinand for the first time on a pitch since their meeting in court over John Terry's FA hearing into alleged racial abuse, tensions are bound to remain high in the foreseeable future.